Hey, what's going on? Long time no see. Just kidding. Distory is happening early, and we're going to be doing Disney snacks. So, history of Disney snacks. I know this is super early, but this is what works for Kate. So, hang on, let me pull her in. Dee 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 do 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 ba do boo boo do boo boo do ba do ba do ba do boo boo do 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 do. All right. Hey, howdy, hey, what's going on? How's everybody doing? Ah, there we go. Dude, I didn't even see you live. I tried to do the host thing. You showed up nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I
That's
swear to
weird.
God, I've been trying to like link with you for the last minute and a half.
Oh man, weird. Okay. All right.
You got your
Well, cool.
settings to don't let
Stealth
anybody see me
stealth
on the
mode.
internet. Don't let anybody know I'm on the internet.
That's apparently what you want, right? Like you don't want anybody to see that you're live.
No, no. Why be live when people can see you? That'd be pointless.
No, that's so
Oh,
weird.
that's so weird. That happened to Jackie last night with Cheryl. Apparently. Hey, howdy, hey.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Anywho's, distry early.
I know, it's like daylight where you are. You
It's
can't tell from my closet. It's also daylight here, but it looks
yeah.
like it could be any time.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's daytime here.
For sure. How are you doing?
I'm okay. My the kiddos were sick, so it's been
Oh yeah, how are they
annoying, and
doing?
I felt like just in a funk the last couple days because I haven't really done much. Do you know what I mean? Like where you just like
Yeah.
don't feel productive. So you're like, ugh. I also feel
Yeah.
congested after I got home from Busch Gardens live stream. I started feeling like as soon as I walked in the door, I started getting a headache, and I was like, what is going on? And it happens.
Getting the crud that's going around.
Yeah, it's
I
basically
feel like
it.
literally everybody I know is getting sick, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm just like out here, just like taking
stay
my
away
vitamin
from me.
C,
Stay
like
away from me. Yep.
moving away from people who are
Yeah.
coughing. I'm just
Yeah.
like, please no.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. You're not
yeah.
wrong. Distry. Are we are we ready to story it up?
I know my brain was like not working. I'm like, I don't know how to do Distory in the morning. I'm like still like half
Yeah.
asleep.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. That's okay. So you know how it is.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Okay. All right. Welcome to another episode of Distry with Kate, the Disney Cicerone, and myself, Kirk from Walrus Carp. Today, we're coming to you earlier on in the day so that we can talk about Disney World and Disneyland snacks slash treats slash whatever you want to call it. So, Kate, how are you doing?
I'm doing really good. It's been a very busy week for our family, but it's good. You know, and it's Christmas time too, so busy all around.
Christmas time goes quick.
And I did get a pretty amazing shirt that I'm not wearing at the moment, but I got my Walrus Carp shirt that's making spirits bright, and I was so excited when it came in. I was like, I have my Christmas shirt.
It's Leota and an ornament. It's a good
I'll have to
shirt.
wear it next week.
It's a
Yeah,
good
I
shirt.
just
I'm
couldn't find it
surprised
for
they
this
don't.
one.
I'm surprised they don't have a shirt for that, like in the parks. I'm not talking about like
No.
in the ornament, but like just a making spirits bright. I've seen so many accounts with like it's like the hitchhikers just with draped over lights, and they're selling them online. So I'm like, Disney, you might want to do that. Just
Yeah,
saying, you know,
yeah,
not
yeah.
me, but
They will
somebody
eventually.
you should
They'll
do
get
that.
there. Oh goodness.
Yeah,
Well, so we are going to
well,
talk a little bit about snacks today, but some particular snacks, not all of them. We've already talked about
we're
Dole
doing
Whips,
all the snacks,
all the snacks.
every single
We'll
snack
be
that has
here until
ever
next
existed.
Tuesday.
We got more snacks than possible. Yes.
So, which snack would you like to start with, Kirk? I don't know if we've laid this out yet.
I don't. We didn't really. These are the ones that I researched, but I have other information on other ones that I can pull up pretty quickly. But I have churros, I have Mickey bars, and I have Doritos on right now. And then I also could do turkey legs, but we don't have to. Whatever.
Yeah, I didn't research turkey legs, but yeah,
Well, you don't
I got
have
the
to
same for you,
research
so.
turkey legs. I like basically it's just like, hey, why are they selling turkey legs? It's like, well,
Oh
started
my
selling
gosh,
them
though,
here.
I cannot believe this Thanksgiving was such a weird Thanksgiving because I think I told you this, but I told my husband to get the smallest turkey possible because it was just like our main family in the house for Thanksgiving, and so I said, okay, get a small turkey. So he did. He found a very very small turkey. I was like, I've never seen a turkey that small, and I go to make the turkey on Thanksgiving morning, and it's a legless turkey. It's just like, and I'm like, why does he have no legs? And I was like, it was so sad because I love turkey legs, and I was like, this is okay. That's how this Thanksgiving's going. It's
Yeah,
fine.
not this Thanksgiving. You have no legs.
No, no
Lieutenant
legs.
Dan, your turkey has no legs.
Lieutenant Dan. Anyway, which one of these three snacks should we start with?
I don't know. I kind of feel like we should do churros.
Churros. Oh, good. That's the first on my
Feel,
list.
feel
Makes it
like,
easy.
perfect. Churros. You know what? The one thing I will say, can we just preface this whole conversation with, in my research, I basically found out that they're basically all stolen snacks. Like there's nothing really like
That's
that
kind of
unique
sad.
or different. Yeah, it's not sad. It's just like the truth of it. It's like, but like I think about the story of Red Bull, right? Like Red Bull was in Thailand and the guy just said, "Hey, can I make this in the States?" and changed the like the branding around, and they're like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." You know, like it's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal. Like this happens so much. And like I don't know if churros would be as iconic if they weren't in Disneyland.
No, I don't think they would. I think, I mean, when we did Dole Whips, that one was made for the Disney parks because they needed something that wouldn't
So
melt in
that's
Florida.
original.
So,
Citrus swirl as
yeah,
well.
citrus swirl. So there are a few snacks that were really like Disneyland specific, but most of them, yes, they came from somewhere else, and the churro is no different. So, um, the churro really, it was an answer to what do we give the youths out there, the
Yeah.
youngins,
What do you give kids these days?
what do you give kids?
It was the year was 1985, and
It's nice.
in Disneyland there was a new dance club that was opening up called Videopolis, where kids could really get down in the Disney parks. Literally at Disneyland in Tomorrowland, there was a nightclub, a kids' nightclub that they needed to have a snack at. I don't know why. Why of all the places, Videopolis is the start of churros. It's so strange to me. Maybe because it's got
Well,
ridges,
because
it's futuristic, it's like not normal.
well, if you think that Michael Eisner, of course, was in charge in this era, and he was bringing in more of the youths, getting all the youths into the park. So he was. This is all part of that initiative to get the younger crowd or the teen crowd, the young adult teen crowd was what the target demographic was. So that's what Videopolis came from. I actually have a pretty fun little video, a few
Oh
clips
my
from
gosh,
it.
I was watching some Videopolis pictures. It's crazy what
The
they look.
song is iconic because they did use it. They filmed it for the Disney Channel. A couple of the ones is that what they would do is they would bring in top 40 bands, and then they would film the concerts live with all the kids dancing. And so they would have big names like New Kids on the Block and Tiffany and New Edition and Janet Jackson and like anybody who was like top 40 back in the early 80s or mid 80s, I should say. It was in what is now the Fantasyland Theater. So if you're familiar with Disneyland, it's like right next to Small World. And they would, yeah, if you show some pictures.
Hang on. The exterior is ridiculous.
Oh, that's
I
the
mean, it looks
Disneyland Paris one.
it looks futuristic. Where's the
That's
actual
Disneyland Paris.
like I
It's
can
not.
see what this
That's all Disneyland Paris.
where's
That
normal.
that one's Disneyland. Yeah, that
Okay.
one's Disneyland.
This one's Disneyland? Okay.
It was an outdoor. It's an outdoor amphitheater. So, kind of if you think about like if you're familiar with Disney World, the place
Oh
where they
wait.
have
Wait.
Beauty and the Beast.
Was it this then?
Yeah, yeah. That's it. But they had like I think there was no chairs down below, maybe, so they could dance.
Yeah, it would make sense. It would make sense that this section right here had no chairs because that's the dance floor, and
the dance
then
floor.
everyone can just sit there and watch. Where would they sell churros?
Well, they had a snack bar called Yums with a Z, Yums, that opened in June 19th, 1985. So it actually opened 3 days before Videopolis, which opened June 22nd, 1985. So but before we get totally into churros, I have to show you this little video because the song itself makes me just really happy. So let me see if I can pull that
It's
up
also
real quick.
very Max Headroom, the way this looks, which is very 80s with all these TVs up, and it would have like an announcer. It's just very,
Yes.
it just screams
It's
80s
very
to me.
80s. Yes.
Get
Oh,
your
no, this isn't
leggings,
it.
kids.
This is not right.
You need your leg warmers.
I'm in the wrong app. Oh, I gotta get to the right tab. Hold on. Sorry.
Wait. No way. Hang on. This is too good. Look at this mini poster. Summer at Disneyland. It's totally hot.
I love that.
She's amazingly 80s.
She is. I love the long necklace and everything. Oversized sweater, giant bow.
Oh, yeah. I want my MTV. You're right, Jen.
All right, here. So, sorry, that's something else. So it's just launching into something else. But yeah, that's basically what Videopolis was. So it's just like a giant dance club for teens. And they actually had a separate ticket. Like they introduced a late night ticket for Disneyland that was reduced cost so that they could get in at the end of the day and just go in for the evening for Videopolis. So
Well, I mean, honestly, yo, where are you guys kicking it? I'm gonna, catch me at the Videopolis.
Videopolis. I mean, if I'm going to go see Janet Jackson, I'm going to go. Like, come on now. Like,
It's pretty crazy that they
pretty
had
awesome.
some serious artists play.
Yeah, they did. So they needed a snack to appeal to this younger crowd. And so at the time, Jim Lohman was the head of Disneyland. Do you have that picture, a picture of him?
Where did my Jim Lohman picture
He was
go?
the head of Disneyland Food and Beverage at this time. And so he was tasked with, like, find a snack for the youths that is going to appeal to them. I love that picture of him with his churros. So he went to the Long Beach Grand Prix. And they had some churros there, but they were small ones. They were the 6-inch, kind of more typical churro size. And he tried them and he loved them. He said, here's a quote from him. He says, "The pure natural product of a little bit of cinnamon and little sugar is a great product," which I love how he says pure natural product. Like,
Yeah.
I've never thought of them as natural. Is that the Grand Prix?
Yeah, this is actually the Grand Prix circuit. It was a 1.67 mile at Long Beach, California. So, yeah.
So he loved the churros. He also realized that they were popular. They were inexpensive to make and easy to produce, which was like spot on for what they wanted.
So the company was J&J Snack Foods that he found out made these churros. They still make a ton of stuff. It's like crazy. Hang on. This is one of those like
They
splash
still make
screens.
churros.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Hola. Churros.
Hola.
Crave the joy. Ices. That looks like an off-brand Dippin' Dots.
Dippin' Dots.
But yeah, he basically found that you can get these things inexpensively made. They're easy to create. Oh, wow,
It
look.
was actual Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, look at that. Dogsters, it's ice cream for dogs.
Is it really
Dippin'
ice
Dots,
cream
it
for
is.
dogs?
It's ice cream style treats for dogs.
Well, they got
Dippin'
pretzels
Dots,
too.
ices,
Pretzels.
soft pretzels, whole fruit. Dude, I'm actually, when you look at this, right, they serve super pretzel is all over the place. That's the Disney pretzels. The Mickey pretzels are super pretzels. Whole fruit are the fruit popsicles that they sell in the parks. I mean,
It's Olaf ones.
look at all this stuff. Icy's, Luigi's, funnel cake. Looking at you. Annie Ann's at home. All right, let me get away from all this food. It's making me very
No, I
hungry.
just want pretzels.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So it's interesting because then what they did was they went to J&J Foods and they actually started a partnership with them. They were like, hey, we want to sell these in the parks. But Jim Lohman said, I felt like it was just a throwaway snack, like 2 pieces of popcorn. Like he thought it was really small. So he asked them to make them longer. But also
Yeah, they were only 6 inches prior to this.
yeah, and so they doubled the size, and by doing that, they could charge twice as much for them as before. So, win-win, win.
And also, like, the iconic picture with churros, like, if you had, like, little tiny churros, it'd be, like, so lame. You'd be like,
We wouldn't know any different. We wouldn't know that it was small. We'd just be like, this is what we have.
yeah. Well, it's crazy because, like, when you look at traditional churros, they're almost all done circular. Like,
It's true.
it's almost none of them are made, like, in long strips, you know?
Well, then, like, Pecos Bill, don't they have, like, the shorter ones there? They're, like, and they're not great either, but they're short. I couldn't eat them when I got them because they were so bad. Anyway, so they made them longer. They charged twice as much. I tried to find the original price. It looks like they were sold for $1 a piece.
It's ridiculous. It's too much.
For what it was, and they could just keep them like warm in a small warming oven, so that's why they'd appeal to them. It was not hard to make them. It wasn't expensive to make them, and it wasn't hard to keep them warm. It's just like an all-around win for Disney. And then
Now, if you're curious about pricing here, because we still use J&J Foods as our churro provider, but now the name changed over the years. Do you know what the current name is? It's J&J still. And you can actually buy these at home. They're called Tio Pepe's. I've seen them before in some of the grocers freezers, but yeah, look, you want some bite size? You can buy a whole case for $90, $500. Or we could get 200
that's probably what they use in Disney World.
5-inch churros. You got 10-inch churros. We can get 100 of them for $86. Or the king size. Yeah, let's buy. Sir, what do you need 100 churros for? Don't ask me questions. Just send them. Oh wow, they have really cool. Like, there's raspberries in that one. Huh? Never saw that before.
That is, yeah. And they have dipping sauces too.
They do.
It's like Disneyland.
They do. Although these ones are like interesting dipping sauces. There's a watermelon chili, a strawberry jalapeno, and a mango chamoy, which I think is pretty unique.
That is unique.
In terms of dipping. Yeah.
It's interesting. I read just like a whole interview with Jim Lohman about these churros, and he said when asked about the seemingly exorbitant price for a little bit of cinnamon and sugar like a donut, Lohman, who has been working at Disneyland for 50 years, proposes that guests get so many things for free, like fireworks, clean restrooms, and live entertainment, that those items have to be paid for in other ways. He said it's either low food prices and pay to watch shows and watch entertainment, or higher food prices so that all of that can be wrapped up into one. So that was from an interview from 2015. So, he's justifying, he's like, that's why food costs so much, because you get a lot of other stuff for free. Okay. But they're now $5.75, I think. No, that's what are they? $5. They're $5 now. I think the last time I went to go get one was $5.
$5 for a churro.
Inflation.
Hi, I'm Jim Lohman, and that'll cost you $5. I'm holding $10 right here. You want to go to the bathroom? Well, these churros pay for that.
I almost did, though.
It's kind of an interesting. I know when people first saw churros too, they were like, "What? What are you talking about?" Imagine bringing these into the boardroom. You're like, actually, kind of. If you think about this entire story of Distory, everything is like ridiculous. Like every single one of these conversations must have been absurd to like sit in on. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if we can make these because it might cut into our Fritos sales. You're like, what? Like, these are serious conversations about chips and
About
churros.
chips and teacups and cars that frogs drive. Yes.
Right.
So, what kind
Ridiculous.
of car would a frog drive if a frog could drive a car? Yes.
That's the reality.
I love
That
it.
is.
I love it. And when, like, if we're going to make a tree look scary, what would we do to it? How would ghosts party if they were going to party?
I
They would have an
If they were going to go out and socialize, how would these grim grinning ghosts do that?
if they came out of their graves, but only to party, what would they do?
Would Do you think their band should be called the oh man, why am I blanking? The Help me with the band. Should it be called the Singing Busts or should we call them the why am I blanking? Help me out. Haunted Mansion Band.
It's early. I'm blinking.
I know. I can't do anything. I'm like a waste. Anyway,
Yeah, no. Phantom 5?
Phantom 5.
I'm
There we
like,
go.
I'm like, it's in there somewhere. Oh my gosh, that took us too long for the having done so many
it's
episodes.
clearly
Haunted
we're not we're firing on all cylinders today. What we need is a Videopolis because I honestly feel like if we get
I know
some
we need to
more.
put the music back on.
There's no blood flow up here. It's just draining out.
Woo! Anyway, so the
Yeah.
way that they introduced the churros into the parks to test them to see if they would work was that they set up a test cart they wheeled it out and put it next to the exit of Mark Twain in Frontierland, and this is like a story. I feel like this is a made up Disney story, but I've heard it several places, so I don't know. They said that because of the smell of them, there was like 30 people following the cart as it rolled into position. Like that sounds like a Disney story if I ever heard one. So I've heard it. That's the story. And then they had constant sales all day long, and they were actually using a propane tank for their like little warmer, and it ran out halfway through the day. They had to keep trying to like refill it. So they realized they needed a more permanent solution as the snack was just super, super popular. Eventually they did turn it into, hook it up to electricity, and then they made more permanent food carts, and they became part of Disneyland's outdoor vending team. And that's why you see, it's funny because when I went to Disney World, before I started going a lot, like often, I was trying to find churros because I was so used to Disneyland, them being literally everywhere. And so I was asking cast members, where can I get a good churro? And they were all like,
Well, no,
I don't know.
the problem was that you asked where can I find a good churro in Disney World, and
didn't
the
even ask for a
answer, and
churro.
every cast member was like, you can't.
They're like,
It's actually
hop
not
on
true.
a plane.
They're
No, I think I just asked for a churro. They just didn't know because they're just not that prevalent. But in Disneyland, it's like, you can walk like, 100 feet, you get to another churro cart. They're literally everywhere in Disneyland. So,
Yeah, our churros are not very good. Although I will say, Nomad Lounge makes a really good churro. That's over
heard
in
that.
Animal Kingdom. They're the only acceptable churro in all of Disney World.
yeah, I've tried so many times to have the ones in Disney World, and I now have just given up because it's just a waste of money. I just don't bother
The
anymore.
the only
It's
ones
so
that
they're so
will
bad.
eventually be good are the ones with like toppings and stuff, but it's really hit or miss on the toppings. They could either be a huge win or a huge L. Last year was probably the year of the churro for us during holiday times because they had one that you dipped in eggnog, one that you dipped in like a marshmallow fluff. It was called a churro worth melting for, and it had Olaf's little nose in the dippy sauce. But apart from like, you need churro end. It's not just churro. It's like, I need a bunch of schmutz on it, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the problem with the Disney World churros is they're just like the texture's wrong. Like in Disneyland, it's like crispy on the outside and like chewy on the inside, and it's like perfectly done. And something about Disney World, it just is like it's
Well,
just greasy and
We've
not the
we've
texture's wrong.
we've thought that the best way to serve churros here in Walt Disney World is to make them either hard as a rock or make them mush. So that's what we go for.
Hard as a rock or mush.
Yeah.
No in between. Just
No, no.
one or the other.
Don't make them delicious. That'd be ridiculous. Don't do that.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So I think that people have speculated. They're like, they use the frozen ones there. And I'm like, I'm not 100% convinced that Disneyland doesn't use frozen ones.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't,
pretty sure that Disneyland uses frozen ones too. You know?
it's just maybe something about their process is different. I don't know. I wish I knew the secret to that. And someday maybe I'll learn it. But there must be something different in their process or their shipping or something that makes it go wrong. Maybe it's closer to the factory. They're fresher for Disneyland. I don't know.
Well, I mean, that is possible based on distribution sites. That is plausible. Because we know at least with Fritos and Casa de Frito, that's definitely the case.
Yeah, yeah. So who knows?
Yeah.
But the great churro mystery, as it were. And I love that Dr. Mickey Mouse Sam here. He says to him the rising cost to them. Yep, 99 cents, and then $2 in 2003, $3 in 2007, $4 in 2014, and now $5 in 2019. I'm guessing it'll keep going up, given the state of things in the world. So probably $6 next year. Who knows? But
at least the
still
toilets are
paid it.
free.
The toilets are free, but they weren't. You remember? Do you know that story, right? Where they had pay toilets in Disneyland, and Walt Disney tried to like get into one, but he didn't have any money, and he was like, "This is ridiculous. Like, we're not gonna pay. We're not gonna have people pay for bathrooms."
He's like,
So
I'm
they
peeing my
made it
pants
free.
right now, and this
He
is
literally
absurd.
couldn't get in
and
the
he had
bathroom
pee
'cause
pants.
he
He
couldn't
guy's
pay.
got an apartment in the place, and he has pee pants walking around.
Yeah. So they did originally have bathrooms you'd have to pay for, and Walt was like, "We're not doing this. No, we're not doing this." He's
Couldn't
like,
you-
give the people the bathroom
Would you pay for a bathroom if it was an awesome bathroom?
in Disney? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I feel like
probably.
I would pay for a bathroom if like there was an attendant who was dressed up in character and you had like your own little private like area, you know, like a really fancy bathroom, and it was
Yeah.
like in theme.
I mean, I would love a place, honestly, just one bathroom where I could actually like pull myself together without being in the way of like 20 people, like just a mirror that I could look at. Because it's so, I know that they don't put them over the sinks, you know, for that reason. They put them in other places. But it's like, it's always, especially in women's bathrooms, like mirror space, you're all kind of crowded trying to like not take up anybody else's space. And you're all trying to just like make sure you're not sweating off all your makeup, and there's like no space. I'm like, so if I could have a place to just make myself feel put together and not feel anxious about it, I'd pay for that.
Powder room stalls.
Powder
Let's put them
room.
in.
Yes.
You know?
Oh gosh. The only other thing
Ted goes Boba Fett passing out combs and mints.
yeah. Oh my gosh, you could have so many things. Like
Oh my gosh,
luxury
yeah.
bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
People would pay.
I mean, yeah, people would pay. I don't know if I pay every single time because you know I'm on
No.
a budget, but I would pay at least once for a nice bathroom. We shouldn't talk about this because they're gonna hear it. Disney's gonna hear.
You wait. What would you pay for? We never thought of that.
So we should stop. We would not pay for it. We won't pay for
We
it.
we will not pay for any of
We'll
these things.
protest. Oh gosh. So Jim Lohman also introduced skewers to the Bengal barbecue as well. That was another food that he got from like I think it was from a fair or a street fair, like or a food cart. I
Classic
can't
Jim
remember.
Lohman.
He always said that's the fun of restaurant management. You can look at county fairs, you can look at different restaurants, you can look at what's sold in grocery stores and think, how can that translate to my business? AKA, what can I steal from my business?
I'm surprised we don't have fried Oreos.
I know. It's
We
on
have
its
funnel
way.
cake. We
Yeah,
have funnel cake.
yeah, classic.
Wait, you'd pay for fried Oreos?
They're listening. Or like in Scotland, I got they do like fried Snickers bars
Oh, there you go.
and fried Twinkies. with like deep fried Twinkies.
That's a lot. That's
It's a
like a
lot.
lot to
No,
manage.
I think Elliot had a deep fried Snickers. I don't think I tried it. I was like, I just can't. That's too much. Yeah, no. It did have
Or not
ice.
enough. I actually think we're gonna do fried Snickers, but we're gonna make them 12 inches. So get over that.
Hey, but they already almost did that. If they just deep fried the Choco Smash bar, that's pretty much what that is.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, that Choco Smash looks fire.
It is so good. And, if it's warm out too, which it is most of the time, it melts like ever so slightly. So it's just like a melty chocolate. Yeah. Whenever you get to Disneyland, we got to split one because I can never get one by myself because
Yeah,
it's
they're huge.
gigantic.
They're huge.
But they're really good. They're way better than like actual Snickers. They're like
All right,
way, way
dumb
better.
dumb Marvel question. Choco Smash is like a real thing in like Marvel World? Like can you go and have a Choco
don't-
Smash? I think like the one soda is, like the Hulk soda, I think is
Yeah.
like a real thing.
I'm not. I mean, I've watched the movies, but I don't remember seeing it in there. I know that like there's pizza. The pizza dog's a thing. No, that's a good question. I mean, I think it's. I don't know if it's an actual thing in Marvel. I feel like it's something they invented. And if anybody's a Marvel fan out there, please feel free to correct me. But I feel they just invented a lot of food for this place because it's Pim's Test Kitchen. Because they do the quantum everything, and they make pretzels giant or small, and like that. It's just a play on like big food. I think. I feel like it wasn't a specifically Marvel thing. They just made it for the parks, but I could be wrong. So, yeah. So, but I always love the Bengal barbecue skewers that Jim Lohman introduced. Those. That's one of my favorite foods in all of the Disney parks. Is those skewers? They're amazing. It's like 4 different flavors, and then the bacon wrapped asparagus is really good. So I'm glad he introduced those too, which I would argue might be as good as them churros.
This thing's insane.
It's so good.
It's ridiculous.
It's gigantic,
Like, it's
though.
so many
It's
layers.
too much for one person, unless that's your meal and you want to have a lot of sugar. It's big.
That's a lot of layers of chocolate and nougat and caramel and brownie. I like how there's brownie on the bottom.
It's really good, though.
It's absurd.
Yeah. I'd say Pim's Test Kitchen is easily one of my favorite restaurants in all the Disney parks. I've yet to have something from there that wasn't stellar. So
Yeah, I've heard
don't sleep on
really
Pim's
good
Test
things.
Kitchen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pim's looks good. The chicken sandwich looks really good.
Chicken's that's one of my favorite things. That's kind of like I would put it on the level, probably slightly above the chicken waffle sandwich in Magic Kingdom. It's like slightly above that.
That's really high up there.
The only downside is the little mini bun they put on it. Sometimes
Yeah, it's
comes out
kinda-
like rock hard, like really hard.
Oh, really?
Inedible hard. Yeah. I don't know if they just let them get stale or it. I thought like maybe they just toasted it, but like it just seems kind of stale sometimes. So something about them, keep them fresh. But that's what can drop it down under the other chicken sandwich. So anyway, that's about all I got for the churros. You got
Okay.
anything else for the churros?
I got nothing for churros. Do we want to do Mickey bars?
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot on Mickey bars. I know the year, I know what they originally looked like, and there's some things that came to people's houses that were very familiar. So I feel like this is going to be a trip down memory lane for a lot of people. But similar, 1985, we get Nestle, and we get the very first Mickey bar. It basically was just an oval of chocolate coated popsicle. And there was a lot of popsicles actually at Disney prior. And in fact, I found these like old school popsicle stick things. They have like all these like things that you could either make at home or use at home as well. But these were like little popsicle pop like holders. There was like tons of these from like the 50s. Like
I remember
these style
using
ones.
those, but not
Yeah.
the Disney ones specifically, but like those kinds of popsicle makers.
Yeah, they were really popular, but I was kind of shocked that originally they didn't start out looking like Mickey. They were just chocolate ovals. So that was interesting.
Yeah, and I was trying to find a picture of that, but it's funny because
There's none.
But yeah, nobody, people didn't take pictures of their food like they do now. Like that was not a thing a long time,
Yeah,
because if you only had like, 23 pictures on your film roll for your
right.
entire Disney trip, you weren't going to take a picture of your food. Like you were going to take a picture of your family in front of the castle. That's that's what you did. So they didn't take
What's
pictures of
more
their food
important?
as often, I would say, if at all. So there's very few vintage pictures that I can find of people eating. And I think people also like, it was more of a like etiquette standard that you didn't like want people to see you eating, so you didn't take pictures of yourself
I guess they
with
didn't know
food.
about mukbangs back then because it was lucrative. You could have been taking little snaps and then snap. People would pay money.
Yeah, well, now it would be really lucrative. Go back and have vintage photos. So yeah, they did start out as the round bars, which is interesting because in 1986 is when the Dove bar, which is the chocolate covered ice cream bar, really like went national. But
Oh yeah.
before that, because it was purchased by the Mars Company, so that became super popular in 1986. But it was around in 1985, so it could be another idea that they borrowed from this small company called Dove. So,
I'm not
and
gonna lie. If you want a Mickey bar experience at home, don't buy the shaped ones too. Those Dove bars, the dark chocolates,
oh,
they oh look at that
hold
thing.
on, hold on.
That is a dirty bird. That is a dirty bird.
The ultimate singles bar,
I mean, I'm
also available in couples.
that's the only time I'm into couples is the, you give me two of those things. I'm not gonna lie. There was a period during the pandemic where I was like really jonesing, and I tried easily 25 different ice cream bars, and yeah, the
Yeah,
Dove dark chocolate bar, it's a thing of beauty.
they're really good
They are
for
awesome.
sure.
Yeah,
Well, so my dates for this are a little bit like wonky because I tried looking up. I was looking for primary sources because there's a lot of misinformation out there. So
there's
I'm trying to find
there's
like
no primary sources for this.
it's well, there's some things that I have. I've got the Mickey Mouse shape I saw was introduced probably shortly after 1985. And they did have an at home version too. But this one, I actually did find a picture of what it looked like in the park. And it was vanilla and chocolate. This one just makes it. Check this out.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys remember these commercials? I mean, I remember
Oh, I
distinctly.
have one. I have the
I mean,
commercial.
I remember the commercials for these, and we had them as kids in our house. These Disney Mickey Mouse bars. There's also were popsicles that came out around a similar time frame.
I have to
But
find
these
the
things were
commercial.
awesome. They were fire. Mickey's Parade. Mickey Mouse bar.
Yep.
Don't be scared.
So,
They were awesome. And the bottom, that little mouth was like spray painted. you know, wasn't
yeah.
like real.
Here, I've got the commercial. Oh, hold on. Sorry.
Why do they
When you're
look like
ready,
that?
AT&T.
Because they didn't have like come on, food processes were pretty underdeveloped. There's the popsicles.
Filled with fresh laughter.
I can only eat what's okay with Mom.
No problem. Goofy's here.
Oh, Goofy.
And pure fantasy. Wholesome, refreshing Disney frozen treat.
You can send a magic. A Disney frozen treat.
A Disney frozen treat. Hang on, I gotta ask my
Cute.
mom. Don't ask your mom. Goofy says eat all the sugar you want.
Goofy says it's okay.
Goofy says have 1,000. Go into your mom's purse and grab a credit card and call up the. No, don't do that, kids.
So it looks like sometime in the 1980s, I think when they introduced this shape into the park seems to be the same time they introduced this at home series. And they
Yeah.
had, it was distributed by Good Humor at that point. So they had ice pops, cookies and cream sandwiches, sprinkle cones, the Mickey's Parade Mickey Mouse bar. And then they had the Chippendale fudge bars, and I found some ads for that, which just made me happy. They're from the Rescue Rangers, right? So this actually has a date on it from 1991. 1991. swing into action with the coolest characters ever. Is what it says on it, and it's cute because it's got like a little. The Chip and Dale ones are fudge bars, and they actually do look like them, and they have little candy noses, which is super cute.
I mean, that's when that style of ice cream was super popular on like ice cream trucks, you know? And they still are today, like those SpongeBob ones and all that stuff.
But see,
Those
these
ones
ones
are
say
cool.
that they're.
If
They
they
say
brought
they're
those back,
new.
they would smash.
If you look at the bottom, it says they are new, and this has a date underneath it that you can't see that says 1991. So, at least the Chip and Dale ones were new in 1991, according to that ad. So I'm like, that's my primary source for that. Like, we know that those are at least in the
Well,
90s.
if we look at this thing, what's the date on this coupon? This expired in 1988. So 1988,
Okay.
we get the ice cream, the frozen pops, also the ice cream sandwich. Magic
We have the
made
same one.
for little hands. Kids, it's totally fine to just throw these in the shopping cart. Your mom doesn't care. Eat all the sugar you want.
They
That's
don't
a
have a
weird
lot of
commercial.
diversity in those hands either, have to say. It's kind of a bummer.
You know what? You know what they aren't diverse with? The amount of chubbiness out of those hands. It's like little kid chub hands. That's what happens when you have all that sugar.
It's like, hey kids, do you want some diabetes? I did find this kind of interesting story, and I think it is a story because I did not find a lot of evidence for it. Was that they said that a lot of the popsicles in the 50s had like round bottoms to them, like this one I'll show, like this, where it was actually like a round stick, and they said
Sucker born every minute.
they said Walt Disney didn't want the round ones because people could like slip on them and fall and get hurt right in his parks. And I'm like, I don't know how accurate that is. And so I looked up some ads because they were claiming that he was like almost the inventor of like the flat popsicle stick. And I was like, really? Really? And so I looked it up and I was like, I don't think so, because I found all kinds of ads that were from earlier that have flat popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
And I love this one. Oh, here. Let's see if I can get this. Joan Edwards says, here's a double feature that always wins applause in our home. I love this. Like, you can do it. You can like get your kids to do stuff if you
Gets
give them
dishes done
popsicles.
faster. Beds made neater. Even get the grass cut. Hey, Jimmy, you want 2 popsicles? Get out there and get to work.
And you get double popsicles. So
There's some
I
of the
don't.
ones on here, too. The creamsicles or the fudge bars are really good.
They are.
Especially
This is-
creamsicles. I don't know. Maybe I'd cut the grass for that. I don't know.
I like a good fudgesicle. The creamsicles. I like all of those. They're like classics. So I don't think that there's anything to that that idea of the flat popsicle stick. But I did find that these in the parks were originally called not Mickey bars, but Mouseketeer bars. So they didn't become the Mickey bars as we know them until much later.
Yeah. Mouseketeer
Which
bars.
was, I think I have a date for that one. 1992 was when the premium Mickey Mouse ice cream bar, that's official name, with Nestle came into play, was 1992. So,
Yeah. It's interesting, too, about this. I'm just recognizing, I'm reading the copy here. You know how we like the Mickey-shaped ice cream sandwich? Well, that one has a Mickey pressed into it. And then the inside, it actually says in the copy, treat-sized cookies and cream. So, like, that's pretty crazy that they've been cookies
Yeah.
and cream on the inside. If you don't recognize that those ice cream sandwiches in the parks, they use cookies and cream ice cream, not just vanilla.
pretty
They've been
much
doing
from the
that
beginning.
since 1988.
I just have a close up one of all the characters. We have Minnie,
Mickey's
Mickey,
Parade.
Donald and Goofy.
I like
Yeah,
how,
that
what's
was good
Mickey
humor.
doing?
Oh yeah, he's like,
I don't know if you should bite me, maybe.
oh gosh. So and then of course we have the one as we know it that was introduced in 1992, which again is
Yay!
very much like
Yay!
you have to think by this point, if Dove chocolate bars became, widespread with the full covering of chocolate shell in 1986, then like they've learned it was just kind of a perpetual hit after that. So they learned this
Yeah.
is something that people want. So, and I don't know if it was cheaper to produce or whatever, but they definitely switched suppliers because instead of Good Humor, now we have Nestle.
Well, Nestle
they made
originated
these
there.
ones.
They probably were like waiting to get back in. They're like, Good Humor is
This is
going
our
to fail.
moment.
Good Humor is going to one day, I'm going to go, look at that face. Look at that face with its mouth. You think that's good humor? Let me show you what we got here at Nestle. Boom. Perfect. and they're like, that face does really give me nightmares. So let's try it, Gene. All right.
Yep. I mean, that doesn't look like Mickey. Just saying. The ones on the boxes and the ads look like Mickey, but that one didn't look like Mickey.
Nope.
It had the ears, but the face is scary. Because this is the ad. This is the still from that ad, and that looks a little more like Mickey.
That one was airbrushed
Nice.
on by a human personally. Like, they made that one for the
Yeah.
commercial. Like, none of the other
Yeah.
ones were made like that.
The ones in the actual box don't look like that.
No.
Just the ones in the ad. Yep, I agree. Let's see. Lost my notes. And then I just have a few notes that I have 3.3 million Mickey bars are sold every year in the parks.
That's quite a bit.
Yep. And then I know in 2019 they introduced the grocery store ones for
Oh.
Mickey's 90th birthday. which I know
Trash.
They're
Trash.
tiny. They are tiny. They're not
They're,
very good.
they're so much significantly smaller. Like,
Yeah.
by a
They're smaller
good...
than that picture on the box.
Yeah. I mean, they're easily an ounce smaller in weight, too. Like, and they're just tiny. The only benefit you get of having those ones at home is biting an ear, which you're a sicko. You want to eat an ear off a mouse? What's wrong with you? No, but flavor-wise, they're nothing. They're not even close.
Oh my gosh. Sidebar.
Yeah.
The reason so those of you who've been kind of be like, hey, you're here earlier than usual. I'm currently, my girls are in a Christmas ballet, and I am a backstage crew. So I'm working this evening, volunteering. So that's why we're doing it early. And that's why I also wasn't on Mom Street, because it's just a very busy week for us. But it's funny because my girls in this ballet, it's in Narnia. It's actually, we got permission from the C.S. Lewis Foundation to put it on. So it's Adventures in Narnia, and my girls are mice in it, among other things. And so backstage last night, there was somebody who said, I can't find a mouse face. Does anybody see a mouse face on the floor? And I was like, that's a disturbing sentence if I ever heard one.
I need some... Somebody took the mouse's face off. I need to replace the mouse face immediately.
I'm like, this is not Mickey. This is something else. So anyway, side note, I thought that was hilarious. Maybe I'm just really tired, so it was funnier for me at the time.
No, I just think that... And now, we're going to need another mouse face over here. All right, thank you.
It's wild, but...
I remember I saw a video once of Mrs. Incredible's face falling off, and they had to like escort her out. I didn't realize that like that big head like had like multiple pieces. I thought it was just like they put the head on, but no, it like has like a removable face, and it literally she came out, face fell off, and was like, and the character attendant's like, oh goodness. You know?
It's almost like somebody's clothes falling off in public. It's like it's the same with the characters when their costume fails. It's just like, oh no, like, oh no.
Remember, there was one for Mike, like his eyeball fell off, like, and Mike Wazowski is just like a giant walking eyeball. You know?
It's like all he is. It's just, he fell off essentially.
Oh my gosh, too funny. Well, I found these other. I don't know what these are, but randomly, there's like a Donald Duck and a Mickey Mouse that look a lot better. It says Peters at the
Interesting.
top, though. I don't really know the company Peters. I didn't research it, but they're
Picture
only
by
70
eBay.
cents, whatever they are. I feel like these would be like on an ice cream truck.
This is like the only time we see Donald represented. He's like never. I guess he was in the ice pops too, but I
Yeah.
feel like he always gets the like. He doesn't get all the merch. He doesn't get all the representation.
Well, he's all mad all the time. Nobody wants to follow him.
Victoria, it's a 2319. Yes, the eyeball falling off. Oh gosh. Do you have anything else about Mickey bars? It's a pretty easy one.
I don't, but can I be honest? We're already almost running up on an hour, and I know what the next one. I feel like I should jam turkey legs, and we should save Casa de Fritos. I don't want to rush it, and I don't
Casa
want
de
to.
Fritos is a good story.
And I don't want to. I don't want to do an hour and a half extra, because that's what we need for Casa de Fritos. Is a long story.
Yeah, let's do.
Tale
Yeah,
as old
let's do
as
Casa de
time.
Fritos and all of that next week. We'll just tease it
Okay.
this week.
Okay, there we go.
Sounds great.
Hang on, let me find the
Now I get
most.
to learn because I didn't research turkey legs at all.
Oh, don't
so-
worry, I didn't. It's not like I really did that much, But
Yeah, Doritos week next week. Yes, it'll be great.
here you go. More than 1.6 million turkey drumsticks are consumed every year at the 6 theme parks. That's more than 2.5 million pounds. That's a lot of turkey leg. Plus,
Wait a minute.
turkey legs. What?
Wait, I just had this thought of like, what if that's where my turkey legs went for my turkey this year?
They went to.
They take the legs off for the Disney parks and then they package the rest to sell without legs.
Maybe you got a cheap one. I do know that they're made out of toms, which are the male turkeys, and they weigh significantly more. It's like almost like a pound and a half for a turkey leg, which is like a lot of aggressively. The only thing I don't know is when they were introduced and why. Is this another 1980s? I feel like it is. Dun, dun,
I feel like.
dun.
Well, I know they sell that. Okay, so no, I could speculate, but I don't. I'm trying to think of where they're sold in Disneyland. The Disney World, they're in Liberty Square. Kind of like olden days food.
I mean, for me, it was definitely in the 80s because I went to Disney in the 80s. But they were.
Well, it's like 1985 was like our year. Like
Yeah, maybe it was
That's where the
1985.
Mickey bars came in. That's where the churros came in. Was 1985. It's like it was just the year for snacks.
1989.
So close.
1989. And
Why does it smell and taste like
the-
ham? I don't know about that.
the food and beverage director at that time was Dave Jarrett, who is, again, looking for a snack to bring into the parks. And guess where he found turkey legs? At a carnival or a fair. And was like, we should bring this thing. And guess what? They didn't want to bring him in originally.
It was probably a medieval fair.
Yeah, so they brought him in 1989 and did him from like one snack cart, and they were an instant success. I think the reason why turkey legs or churros, especially like oversized snacks, do so well is because people go, where did you get that? Like there's something about like having a thing that everyone else can see as a thing and go, how do I get that? Does that make
Well,
sense?
yeah, and turkey legs. I mean, you see people just like on your website who are just like gnawing into a turkey leg, but there's also like, I know we've gotten a turkey leg to split among our like kids because it's like protein. It's just like, okay, we can like carve off pieces or peel off pieces and like give it to our kids, and it's like you can feed half the family with one turkey leg.
Yeah, I mean they're massive.
They're big, and so I can see the appeal for it. Did you say that they didn't want them originally? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, they didn't think it would fit the appeal of the parks. And
Because it's like messy and greasy and
yeah, they just didn't know why would make sense for people to walk around with giant pieces of meat. Which
proved them wrong, didn't we?
yeah, I mean they sell more than anybody else. There was when Gaston's Tavern opened up. I don't know if you remember this. They didn't sell a turkey leg there. They sold this monstrosity, a roasted pork shank. So they had meat at Gaston's Tavern originally when they opened up.
I forgot about that. I remember seeing that once upon a time. That's something.
Yeah, I mean this thing was huge.
They were trying to make a new turkey leg.
They
and
were.
It didn't pan out.
Yeah, it's gross to be honest. I mean, you look at this thing, you just go like, ugh. Like that is a big fatty piece of meat. I mean, the turkey legs, no. Yeah, it's so gross.
Yeah, not the pork, but the candied bacon. I'm on board for that. I feel like they did a good job with that one.
Yeah, the candy bacon's good, and the candy bacon skewer is good. Yeah, I think they did a nice job.
But I don't think I would have the pork shank.
No, the pork shank.
I'm not even.
I would try it, but it looks so fatty and gross.
Are you a big turkey leg fan? I know
No.
I've seen you eat it, but
I've had them when I was a kid. I liked them a lot, but I had a couple. Like over the last year, I've had maybe 2, and every time I get them, I'm like, oh, this is too gross. They're too greasy, and the big cartilage pieces. I'm out.
yeah. I mean, I like a good turkey leg, but not the whole thing on Thanksgiving. Like a piece of the turkey leg on my plate with some gravy and mashed potatoes. Like I'm all for that, but I'm not, especially like in the heat of the Florida sun.
Yeah,
having a giant
1.5 pounds
turkey.
of turkey sounds a little much.
I imagine I'd be seeing that turkey more than once if I tried to eat that. So
Well, I'm thinking about that greasy pork shank. In
I should go
Florida.
back to churros. That was so much.
Now that's a boardroom one that they should have actually been like, all right, I think it's a little much.
Well, you know how that went down. They're like, okay, this is Gaston. Now, what would Gaston eat in
Right.
his tavern? What's the
Yeah.
manliest food we can
Yeah.
think of?
And they were like, we
What
already have
did
the turkey
Gaston
leg. We need to give him a pork shank.
He's gonna have a bone with some meat on it, but we
it's
can't
got
do
so
turkey
much-
legs. We've already
It's got
done
so
that.
much grease on it and fat.
Which is kind of funny. Like, how did we end up with a cinnamon roll at Gaston's? Like, that's like, I mean, it's big, so I guess it's like, I mean, I like the cinnamon roll. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but like, that's not like Gaston. Like Gaston's like, I think I'll have a cinnamon roll today.
No one cinnamon buns like Gaston. It's just because it's massive. And it's awesome. It's the best cinnamon bun on property. I love that thing.
Yeah, I really enjoy that one too, and I'm gonna try that sandwich that you.
It's a good price
recommended,
too.
the
$6.79 for a
Swiss.
cinnamon bun. That's massive. I feel like is a good price.
Yeah, that's gosh, I'm like, what other foods would they have for Gaston's if they were gonna pick manly foods? What is a manly, super manly Gaston-y
Well,
kind of
they
food?
attempted to do it like the 5 dozen egg shake. They did like an eggnog shake before. You know,
I was
that
like,
was okay.
Ew, eggs.
Yeah.
This is straight up like glass. of
I mean,
eggs.
that's what he ate. You know, that's what helped him
I
get
know.
large.
Yeah, nobody's having that on their vacation. Well, there might be some people that do, but
Barge. Why does he do that? He like just his whole clothes all rip off.
well, I guess we'll pause there.
Yeah, I
have
want to do
all
that.
kinds of really cool
That
things.
Fritos one is so good. It's such a
The
good
Fritos
story.
one is and it's long, and it's probably a solid hour. We could talk about that.
It's
in
easily
itself.
an hour. That's why I
So-
saw it coming. I felt like that was a good way to finish.
So I feel like that is what we will do next week. I do
The story
have
of
also-
Doritos and Fritos and Casa de Fritos.
It's a great one. We'll just do the restaurant plus the things they made in it and things. So it'll be a really great episode. But I do want to mention that I next week I am going to give I have a little giveaway. I have a little Mickey that's a Disneyland Starbies. So I'm going to do this for my subscribers. So as a thank you to all my subscribers for the holidays, I'm going to give that away next week. So that'll be really fun. I want to make sure I can get it out. It might not make it there by Christmas, but it'll be close. But I'm going to give that away next week. So
Nice.
if you're my subscriber, you're already entered for that one. So
You don't got to do
I might give
nothing.
away a couple stickers and stuff too. I would love to give a few things away to my subscribers. So
Nice.
for the holidays, and I do have my book is almost done. It's in the last parts of editing. I'm finishing up the cover art for it in the next week, and hopefully we'll get it up on Amazon, hopefully for pre-sale in the next week or two. And I'm still working on my exact launch date for it. It's hard because it's the holidays, and so I'm trying to sort that out. So as soon as I know, you guys will know. But yeah, thanks everybody. Appreciate that. So that's coming soon. And other than that, thank you for doing this at an earlier time with me.
No
Do
problem.
appreciate that.
No problem.
I'm going to go get all of my girls' hair and makeup done, which sounds weird, but it's my life
They're
at the
in
moment.
ballet.
Stage makeup.
Yeah,
So,
we have a ballet this weekend too, so it's the week of the ballet recitals.
gosh, yeah. It's intense. They've been doing rehearsals for this since September. So
Yep.
it's been culminating into this gigantic show. So it'll be great, but I'm tired, so I'm gonna go help my girls. And thanks, Kirk.
No worries. No worries. That was
Bring in
fun.
snack
It was
history.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Snack history.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Distory. We really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and talking about Disney snacks. We'll be back next week with discussing about the Casa de Fritos and where they did something with Doritos in Disneyland. So
What?
I don't know. What did they do?
I don't know.
Find out. So join us next week for that one. Back at our regular time, we hope. And then we will see you next week. So have a great weekend, everybody.
Lovely, lovely.
Lovely.
All right, guys. See you later. Have a good recital. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. See everybody.